Welcome back, it's Knack, bringing you some live tournament play between Neo, a Protoss player, and Destus, Zerg, battling it out in the Tournament of Blades. They're going to be playing on Scrap Station. This is the second round of the tournament, so both of these guys have moved up on the tournament already. Let's see if we've got what they are. We have Destus is a... Oh, you know what? I don't have his rank, the league that he's playing in, but Neo is a silver player. But Neo says that... his account has been hacked, and he's had some serious trouble trying to get things fixed up with Blizzard, and that usually he's playing in either the Gold or the Platinum League, so, and I think he tries to stick with Platinum League, so he is a pretty good player. We have seen Neo play quite a bit. He's done some fun games with us in the past while the tournament's going on. And so it's nice having Neo around. We are going to be playing again on Scrap Station, and Neo is spawning as the orange Protoss in the west position, or the 12 o'clock position, if you will. Destus spawning as the red Zerg, which I think is an appropriate color for Zerg for some reason. I know a lot of guys like to play as the purple Zerg. I've seen that a lot, but I think red is a lot better color for the Zerg for some reason. It looks nice. The buildings look a lot cooler. They kind of have this red glow coming out of them. But Destus is going to be spawning at the 2 o'clock position. He is sending his scout out right away. Get that Overlord moving to see what he can see from his Protoss opponent. Neo not sending out an early scout, so it looks like he's going to be chrono boosting out some probes at this point, trying to get his economy up and rolling. Try and gain, I guess, a little bit of an economic advantage. But he is sending his scout out now before he builds his gateway, and here comes the gateway right now, so he is going to be scouting. Let's see if we have any early pools from Destus. Looks as though he will either be expanding now at this point or throwing down his pool. He has made it to 14 supply. And nothing yet from Destus, so maybe he's just going to be droning up here for a moment. We do have the scouting probe from Neo arriving at the base. He is going. Looks like Destus is going to be taking his expansion right now. He still does. Oh no, he just tossed down his spawning pool as well. So a spawning pool and a simultaneous, essentially. Well, if he can drop it down, it looks like he's ready to drop it down. He's going to make a liar out of me. He may or may not expand. We'll just wait and see. How's that? But he does have his spawning pool up. It is nearly half finished at this point. No queen. He is still just droning up, so kind of an interesting build order, I'd say, for Destus right now. But he is going to have keep up in the economy against a Protoss player who can continue chrono boosting out his probes, which he is doing, by the way. That is at least his third chrono boost. He is at 24.5 energy right now, so he has definitely used his energy at least 3 times. I actually haven't really been keeping count. He may have even used it 4 times, but he's continuing to chrono boost out probes. So very interesting here from Neo. Generally speaking, a Protoss player is going to chrono boost their Nexus twice and then save chrono boost for their warp gate technology. But he has not even put up a cybernetics core. There is a cybernetics core right now. He does have dual gates. Looks like he might be going for some early Zealot harassment. He's sending a Zealot out across the map right now. So we'll see how this is going to work out for Neo. Looks like he's going to go for a little bit of a Zealot rush. He did toss down his second gas, but has chosen to not saturate it. So I'm interested to see what his build order is going to be. He's brought the Zealot back to the base. Looks like he might be placing himself in a defensive posture. He may have been just doing that to try and trick his opponent into building up some army units. And it looks like it may have worked. I think Destus did see that, and he did scoot his Overlord out of the base and is tossing down a Spine Crawler here and a Roach Warren. And let's see if what he's got on the production tab. He is getting out a couple Zerglings, so it doesn't look like he's overreacting. He's got a Queen on the way, so nothing. It doesn't look like an overreaction, so I'm thinking Neo's play probably didn't quite work out the way that he wanted to. Let's see if he's going to be using his energy to chrono boost out this Warp Gate technology or not. I don't see it yet, and he is storing up. Well, there it goes right now. So first First time that one's been chrono boosted out, which is going to be very helpful to him in the long run, getting out those units at the speed that he needs to. He does have a couple zealots here for defense, it looks like, which is not a bad option because it is kind of tough to wall this off. And a Zerg player, if they want, they can be very pesky the whole time, keeping you from walling this off. And so he looks like he may have chosen to just build right here next to his Nexus and pump out a couple extra zealots at the beginning so that he can have an appropriate defense if Zerglings come into the base to harass. We'll see what he's going to be able, what Destus is going to go for. He does have his Roach Warren up and a couple roaches on the field. Let's check the units tab. He does have 5 roaches on the field. 1 queen for each base, so no creep spreading queen as of yet. And 4 Zerglings, which I assume that he's probably just going to use for map control. But he does now have 9 roaches. It looks like he might be going for a little timing attack of some kind, sending these roaches out across the map. Neo has not scouted this base for a little while yet. He does not know what's coming to him. And neither player are really maintaining tons of map control. If anybody has map control, it will be Destus, because he is scouting a little bit with this Overlord, poking into his opponent's base here and there. But we still don't see a huge amount of static defense from Destus, so I think probably pretty good position here. He might be able to do a decent amount of damage, but this is quite a few Stalkers with this number of Zealots as a meat shield. These Stalkers are going to be a little problematic for these roaches because the Stalkers do extra damage. He needs to be microing the Stalker back, and that Stalker going down is not good for him. And look at these Stalkers not attacking right here, so Neo actually not doing a very good job with his micro right now. Needs to keep these guys in the fight. This Immortal is going to be key right now to taking out these roaches. He needs to be focusing these down. Keep this Immortal alive. It's going to be key. It looks like these roaches are going to go away. He's not going to. Oh, this Immortal may just go down. Oh, wow. Okay, the Immortal barely living with 20 health there. So a little bit of missed micro, actually, I think from both players. I would have liked to have seen a little better micro from each player in that exchange. Neo probably taking more damage than he needs to. But the real loser there ended up being Destus. He has lost 900 minerals if you take a look at the units lost tab. He does have 9 more roaches on the way, but we do have more Immortals coming for our Protoss player. It looks as though he might be going for an Immortal push against his opponent. Immortals and Stalkers both very effective against those roaches. We've got 9 roaches moving out across the field right now and 20 Zerglings. It looks like Destus wanting to keep the pressure on, wants to maybe catch his opponent out of position, hoping that maybe his opponent decided to expand or something after that exchange. And we'll see if it appears that Neo is going to be ready for this. It'll depend a lot on his micro, I think, keeping his units safe from that amount of Zerglings. If those Zerglings get a good enough surround on these Stalkers, he could be in a lot of trouble here. So quite honestly, I don't know who's going to win this attack. Neo is getting a lot more units up. And here goes the attack right now. We'll see how it looks like these units are melting away very fast for both players. I would say probably at this point that Neo in a probably decent position to hold this off. He's microing that Immortal back, which is very good. He wants to keep that Immortal alive and blasting, and these roaches are going down. It looks as though Destus probably is going to come out a loser in that battle as well. Let's take a look at units lost. He is still losing ground to his opponent, and it appears that Neo is feeling pretty confident at this point. It looks like he might be moving out across the map right now. We do have this Inject Larva going down for our Zerg player. We do have an evolution chamber, and he is researching Ground Carapace level 1. So Carapace first, which will make them a lot more robust against those Stalker attacks. And he does have a Baneling nest, so we'll see if he's going to produce some Banelings. Let's take a look at the production tab. We do have 2 Banelings on the way right now. On the units tab, we have no Banelings already on the field, but 2 on the way, so we'll see if those are going to be helpful. He might need a few more than just that. Let's take a look. He does have a couple more Zerglings coming, so it looks like he's going to be turning all of his Zerglings into Banelings and use those for some crowd control. And Neo taking out these destructive debris. Let's see if this is even spotted. I can't tell if this is being spotted. If he's paying attention, if Destus is paying attention, he would be seeing this. We'll see if he is going to be able to be prepared for this. This destructive debris has gone down. And Neo moving right into the base. He's feeling pretty confident with his small force here. This queen quickly going down. He doesn't have very good reaction time at this point, and he has a lot of a larva going unused. And his opponent is now supply blocked, so as long as he can take this force out, he'll be in pretty decent position to do a lot more damage. Pretty decent backing up there. He probably wanted to get away from those Banelings just a little bit better, and it looks like this force is going to be cleaned up from Neo. So Destus probably going to be able to hold this off at this point, but units lost tab is going to show that he is still behind, but not by very much, so he closed the gap a little bit there on that attack. But Neo looks like he is building up another army at this point. Looks like he is going to stay on one base at this point. Oh, he does have 2 Phoenix over here. It looks like he's going to try and keep his opponent supply blocked, which is a great option at this point. Force him to keep spending his minerals on producing Overlord. And as long as he can keep these Phoenix safe, he should be okay. Looks like he's going to try and take this queen out. His opponent does not have any other air defense at this point. So he's got to keep picking them up. He does not want to lose these Phoenix. He needs to keep... Oh, looks like he's just letting these guys sit here. Come on! And it looks like this Phoenix is going to go down. Oh, wow, he just barely saved him. The 2 Phoenix need to keep moving. They cannot sit there and just take those kinds of attacks from a queen. They are going to decide to move out here a little bit, it appears. And Destus getting his supply count back up. He needs to really be doing that. We do have an expansion going down for Neo. So finally deciding to do that. I'm sure he is probably about mined out in his base here. He's getting very low on all these mineral patches. Looks like around 300 to 400, like 600 on this one. Boy, we just have a lot of unspent minerals right now for Destus, and I really don't want to see that. And it's partially because of that supply blocking. So a really good play there by Neo. Destus is moving out with a small force here. He does have 4 roaches, 2 banelings, and looks like 5 zerglings on the field. Looks like he's going to try and move in, but he's going to find a ball of death to come up against. Very, very bad choice for Destus at this point. Neo looking like he's going to be taking a very commanding position in this matchup. He's Phoenix back at it, trying to keep his opponent's supply blocked. It looks like this one might go down. He does have some Mutalisks on the field now for defense. Not a bad choice, but if his opponent can stay on top of him with the Stalker count, these Mutalisks will not be doing enough damage. It looks as though Neo might be moving out here very shortly. We'll see what he chooses to do, or he may choose to try and stay in his base and defend a little bit against the Mutalisk play. Or maybe he'll just decide to toss down some photon cannons for defense. We do have the lair up and running. And the units tab shows that we do have only 3 Mutalisks on the field at this point. 9 roaches. He is still down to 1 queen, and he's never rebuilt his queen down here at this bottom base, so he probably ought to do that. He does have it popping out right now. But our Protoss player in a very commanding position, I think, at this point. He is transferring his probes down here to this base. And destroying this destructible debris to make his walk distance to his opponent's base that much shorter. Destus probably in a lot of trouble if Neo decides to push an attack in here very shortly. It looks as though Destus is going to try for some harassment. We'll see if that is going to play out well for him. There is no air defense really to speak of in Neo's